But yeah, you know, we got to do better with taking care of ourselves and, you know, our bodies, our mind, our emotions, our thoughts, our spirit, whatever the case may be. You got to take better care of it. Take accountability for your actions. If someone is trying to help you and tell you things to help you grow, stop beating them over the head because you're not ready to listen. And for the people trying to break in the door, hey man, sometimes you just gotta leave the door locked until they unlock it. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes the best way ain't breaking through the door. Just wait till they open it. You know? You know, it does make you feel bad sometimes when you can't help people. It makes you feel bad sometimes when you feel like you failed at helping people, but you didn't fail yourself. As long as you try to help people, you did a good deed. You did what you were supposed to do. Don't feel bad about that. Once you try to help someone, it's then up to them to take that advice or to take whatever's going on and let it fuel them to want to go and do better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I needed some air, so I opened the door. It got hot. Some people don't like to talk about the issues. I was like that for a long time. You didn't want to talk about it because you wasn't ready to accept it. Wasn't ready to deal with things, you know, or you didn't know how, or you didn't see no way out of it, or you was conflicted. But I do know one thing. If a person is not ready for change and ready to fight and ready to grow, if they're not ready to take action, they're never going to receive the help. They're never going to receive what you're saying. You're going to be speaking English, but it's going to sound foreign to them because their eyes are not open. They're not ready to see it. They're not ready to hear it. They're not ready to feel it. And that's real talk, you know. It's unfortunate sometimes that we got to put ourselves in this box to feel safe. And the whole time you think you're safe, but you're hurting yourself. When you're in a dark room, you don't get to see anything. Everything outside of that dark room is still growing, changing, evolving, learning. But you're just in this dark room with all these thoughts of things that you've already done, or these assumptions of what can possibly happen. But what they don't tell you is you stop living when you're in that box, and it stunts your growth. And that's what we got to stop ourselves from doing, stunting our growth. There's no room to grow in a box. Instead of trying to make people feel bad because we're not ready to deal with our shit, sometimes, man, just say, hey, I'm not ready to hear this. I'm not ready to deal with my shit. And then a person can be like, okay, cool, I respect that. Unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen a lot of the time. And that's because of pride and ego. So, you know, I'm never going to stop being a person to do this, lend my hand out. I'm never going to do that. Yeah, I mind my business these days. You know, I try to stay out of certain things and conversations and topics and things like that. I got topics that I don't talk about, you know, and I won't talk about either because I'm not really up on them like that, or it's just not the topic for me. You know what I'm saying? But life lessons, I'm all about that because life has taught me a lot of lessons, and I've grown from them. I'm still growing, and you can too if you just open the door. I know it's tough to let people in. I know. Trust me, I know it's hard. But I'm not going to lie to you. I thank God that I've been able to crack my door open. I'm going to say crack it open. Say I cracked it open. And for a person who's been in the dark for a very long time, that little bit of light seems like a lot for me. You know? And I hope I can keep on. I still have my days, you know, but what I don't do is I don't blame anybody else for anything. I've always taken accountability for my actions. You know, I might come off aggressive sometimes when I'm taking that, but you know, I've worked on my delivery a little bit better, you know, because my delivery wasn't always the greatest. You know, not always. There's times where I can explode or I can be forceful with things sometimes when I speak to people. Like if I feel like they just don't get it, I would just, like, you know, you get frustrated. But you have to just learn sometimes that when it comes, there's always a certain point to go to when you're talking to somebody. Once you feel like you hit a wall, stop trying to break through it because that's where the conflict's gonna happen. That's where you're no longer trying to have a regular conversation. Now you're trying to force the conversation. Sometimes you just gotta back off, you know. So yeah, man, life is one big learning ball, curve, whatever you want to call it. But like I keep saying, until you're really ready to take accountability, until you're ready to get past things, until you're ready to move on, it's just gonna be a cycle. And I'll do another video on this about people who are chameleonaires. But the thing with chameleonaires, at some point, they do show their true selves and their true color. You know what I mean? So, you know, a person can be going through things. And one minute they can be good. They can be all with you. They can be all ready to do this. And then as soon as something hits them, or as soon as they get a thought, or as soon as something, then it's right back to the guilt trips and the gaslighting and the, you know, just the avoidance, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of terms I could probably use, but I'm trying to keep this simple. So, you know, and, you know, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. Just try not to be assholes to people. Try not to make people feel bad for your shit. You know what I mean? Stop trying to make other people feel like they're the problem just to take it off of you. You know what I mean? It's hard, man, you know, when you allow yourself to be in that place. And when you're in it so long, you don't know how to get out of it. Or you know how, it's just tough. You get comfortable in it. Like anything you do in life, if you do it consistently, you get comfortable with it. Don't take people for granted that love you and care about you, that are trying to be there for you. Stop making people your punching bag. If people show you love, show it back. It's hard to find genuine people. It really is. So anyway, you reached the end of the video and you are a real one. And I appreciate you for tuning in. And if you need help or whatever the case may be, find whatever best suits you. You know, as long as it's positive and it helps, do it. Because you'll feel a lot better. All advice ain't good advice. But the good advice, take it. Because you know what good advice is. You don't need me to tell you what it is. Or maybe you just need to hear it from somebody else. And if that's the case, then you're hearing it from me. Anybody out there going through something, you can get through it. There is a way. You just got to have the will. And as long as you have the will, then you will. So till next time, Real Talk will be. I'm out of here. Peace.